What's up? God, universe, source, Buddha, somewhere in between. What a topic today. Spirit guides, universe. What else did I say? I don't know what I put in the title. Excited to talk about this today. I want to start out this topic today. Michael Gebben, mind mechanic, tune up hearts and minds one at a time so your ideas don't die in your heart, your head, or your hard drive. And the conversation I had today had some of that happen. And I decided to talk on this spirit animals. I love that. I decided to talk on this topic today because it's something that I think is rampant, and one that's judgment. I'm right, you're wrong. If you don't believe this, you're worse off. And I just want you to know that whatever I say in here, I have absolutely zero judgment of what you believe, what you don't believe, what you think is right or what you think is wrong. I'm not coming here to push any beliefs that this is right or this is wrong, or you are right or I'm right, or you're wrong and I'm right. None of that. I just want to bring up a dialogue because a dialogue that I had, I was like because the person that I was talking to said, I haven't told anybody this overall. I've only told a few people. You got to get really close into my circle. Now I got to throw that person and tell their name or any context. You'd never know who that is. And I'll leave most details out that would identify this person. But I said, that's the thing. And a thing that I've been trying to do more and more and every day and videos like this is giving people one word that he brought up, which is permission to share. So that you're not afraid, or more so that you don't feel alone. Because we're so in fear of what people will think, what they will say, how they will judge us, that they're right and I'm wrong. So if I share this, they're going to think I'm crazy. They're going to think I'm weird. And he gave a story that involved mediums, involved meditation, seeing people in the meditations, and somebody named, we'll just call him Jack. That way you can't even, the person, but Jack. And as the story was told, it gave me chills. And the reason I say that the person said they don't tell many people this, because it involved spirit guides, the universe, seeing somebody while they're in meditation, then seeing a bunch of people, having a medium say, hey, did you know Jack wants to tell you something? And the person be like, oh my gosh, yes. And there's people right now who may listen to this who only, abide by the Bible, read the Bible, very Jesus, God oriented. And then people are atheists, and then people everywhere in betweeners. And it's so fascinating to observe. I grew up Catholic, and I went to Catholic church, Catholic school, for grade school, high school, went to church more or less every weekend from, I guess, my parents. I don't even know. My parents took me when I was a baby. I'm assuming they did. And then, up till probably maybe 20 to 22 years old. I don't remember like explicitly when I stopped regularly attending church, and then becoming the person who, when they used to go to like Easter or Christmas, they would call out us people who only show up on Easter and Christmas. Until now, I quite frankly don't show up on Easter or Christmas. Now, if you go to church every weekend and that's your, again, zero judgment. I don't think there's anything wrong. We have to find the things that we resonate with, that work for us, and that's that. But I think that we have to be willing and open to share where we are. Whether you are a God person, whether you're a universe person, whether you're a spirit animal person, whether you're a spirit guide person, right? Whatever it is that you believe. And the only thing, this is not what you should do, but a belief that I have about that is to share it without being condescending. I had somebody that I'd known for a very long time, and I hadn't seen him in a very long time. And I was so excited to catch up with him. And it was so interesting, great conversation. And then towards the end, they know that I didn't go to church anymore or anything. And then the conversation turned as though I was a less than human being because I didn't go to church. And my belief that there's Jesus, God, whomever, that they're loving, they're caring, they're forgiving, and quite frankly, they're not judging. That's my belief. And so I believe let everybody be what they want to be. And if it works for you, it lights you up, it brings you peace, then awesome. Amen. Hallelujah. Right. But that ability to be able to openly share, because see, when you start getting into the things like mediums and spirit guides and universe and meditation and seeing people and all this, at times we live in a world where people are afraid to share those things because they'll think they're crazy. People are afraid to share a lot of things because what are people going to think? Will you lose friends? We're like built to survive and, and stay safe. And so I just knew that it opened up another thing for me, because I love hearing different people's points of views, learning how people think, learning how people, believe, how they find peace, serenity. And it's so fascinating because, when you really open your mind and you recognize there are so many different ways to live in this world, my concept, create your life your way. And so I'm curious in the comments, where do you sit on all this? Are you willing to share? How open are you in regards to being able to go, I read the Bible, I go to church every week, and I believe in God. And that's your belief. Or, you know what? I don't believe in that. I'm an atheist. Or, you know what? I do meditate and I talk to my spirit guides and I'm connected to source, right? Where do you sit on that spectrum? And quite frankly, it's been an interesting journey, because I know that I personally stopped going specifically in the Catholic Church. For me, this is only my beliefs. They're not to shove them on you. I'm just my journey, my story, because I think that there's people that can relate. There's people who don't get it. I mean, there's always, whatever it is, whether it's this topic or other topics, I just want people to be able to have that courage to not be afraid, to not live in fear. Everything I talk about is so that we can be courageous, we can be bold, that we cannot allow our ideas to die in our heart sets and hard drives. And some things are so deep inside of us, but we're holding them and keeping them there. And some things are meant to be there. They're meant to stay there. But other things, they want to come out. You'd like to let them out, but you're afraid. And so for me, going to filming weddings in my career, it was actually the non-denominational churches that I got treated with the most respect. And so it was fascinating, because when you have 22 years of your life believing, thinking, doing one thing, and then you start seeing and being open, or eyes being open to other things. And actually it was the people in the Catholic Church that, not all, because it doesn't matter what it is, I've met atheists who are, kinder, gentler, loving people than people who go to church every weekend. And that's a stereotype. It's not a fact, but I'm just saying, like, what you believe doesn't make you a good or bad person. And that's going to break some people that hear those things. They don't like to hear those things, but there are great people because they do kind things, loving things, caring things. And what religion or denomination that they believe in doesn't necessarily have anything to do with making that person like do nice things or be compassionate. And so it was actually the Catholic Church for me that I started getting disrespected more than anything else. The church ladies would be mean to me. The priests would be mean to me. And I'm like, what the heck? It's because other videographers had done something and whatever. I don't need to get into that. But that just started to open my mind. Then I went into limbo land, quite frankly, for a long time. And I don't know where you're at. Are you in limbo right now? You're like, I don't really know what I believe. I don't know if there's a God. I don't know if there's this. I know there's probably something, but I'm just completely and entirely neutral right now. Like, I don't not believe, but I don't believe in anything outside of me right now. Right. And so I went through this seasons, multiple years, where I just, I thought I was open-minded, but the more I dug, the more I realized I was very closed-minded. And then when I started to travel a lot for my work, I started to experience so many different types of people, types of beliefs. I got called an indigo child multiple times. Like, I didn't know what that meant. On certain levels, I still haven't dug enough into it to know what it means. But like, there was so much, and I started to just open up and realize that really there are a lot of, I don't know if I have the book sitting here, something about world religions, but there's a lot of similarities at times if you really start to dig. And again, it's what brings you the most peace and satisfaction and serenity and love and compassion that serves you. and not from a place of superiority, not a place of you're better than other people who don't believe what you believe, but you just believe what you believe because it works. And so what works for you? I'm just curious, what works for you? And how open are you about sharing that with other people? Because when this person said to me, I haven't told many people, I said, the thing is, we need more people to open up, because I guarantee there are other people who are just like you, who have things inside that they feel so alone because they're so afraid to share that thing because it's not what fits in a normal society, or so you think. When in fact, if you are willing to share and not be scared about what somebody's going to say, and this doesn't apply to religion or God or universal sort, like none of that. It applies to how you want to live your life, whether you want to quit your job, whether you want to go back and be an employee, whether you want to have a business, how big you want to have that business. Do you want to have employees? Do you want to keep it solo? Like, what are your dreams, your goals, your ambitions, your desires, your beliefs? And do you feel that you live in such a world, in such a container, that the people in society and in social media that you're around, you feel so scared to share? And I have done my best to surround myself in my life with people that I don't have to live in fear. And it's so freeing. That's freedom. For me, I mean, there's multiple things, but on this topic, that's freedom. Having people in my life, I don't have to walk on pins and needles and broken glass and be afraid, right? Or what are they going to think of me if I speak that thing that I don't want to hurt them, but I'm dying inside. But rather people that I know I can open up and we can have a conversation. We can lift each other up. We can encourage each other. And so this ability for one to do that in real life, physical, person to person, I do my best to get on here. This is a vehicle and tool that has allowed me to share thoughts, share ideas, share beliefs, give people permission to know that they're not alone, that there's other people that think like you, think different, whatever it is that you believe in, and this freeingness to not judge somebody because they don't think how I think. They don't believe what I believe. And if you notice and you stick around enough, or you've been around a long time with me, I'm not here to shove anything onto you. I'm not here to tell you I have a way, do it my way. I'm here to just share with you. There are lots of ways. There are lots of beliefs. There are lots of different types of people. And you may know that, but do you really own that? Like, you might know there's lots of different people, different beliefs, but are you so strong that people who aren't like you, don't think like you, that there's something wrong with it? And that's a reminder to self as well, right? To make sure that I have beliefs, I have things I'm strong in, right? But that somebody isn't that I'm compassionate, I'm understanding, I'm empathetic. I don't think that they're bad or wrong, or there's something that like I need to convince them of so that we can then get along. And I think in the world we live in, there's so much of like, this is my thing, and I'm only going to interact with people who are just like me. And the way I try to go around is that I feel so light with that ability to have lots of different people and different perspectives and different point of views and different beliefs. And we all get to be friends. Because when you let go of the ego and things that are making you, this, I'm superior, this is superior, this is right, or this is better, and people are less than or not, if, then, or that, it's just very freeing. So I just hope that, and I guess you might ask, where do I sit right now? Quite frankly, I'm on a high belief at this moment in time. There's something going on that we cannot explain. And I think lots of people try. Lots of people have plenty of opinions about it. but I think that my belief is that most of that is just that, because there's so many people who are so much conviction. This is the way. And there's somebody who doesn't believe that way. They're sitting over here with equal amounts of conviction that this is the way. So I've just like got this objective view. I don't know what way is the way. I just know that there's stuff going on. And the more I surrender to not just relinquish and like, Jesus, take the wheel, in the sense of like, I'm going to do nothing and sit around and hope that millions of dollars comes in my front door, and kumbaya in my basement, you know, and you get a law of attraction. But like, there is that, and that's a stereotype, by the way. I don't mean that, but like, I know that something's going on, and I have a lot of peace in observing and being open to all the different things that are out there and that people believe. And I see commonalities amongst all. So do I believe that there's a God, that there's the universe, that there are spirit guides, spirit animals, there's some source? My belief currently is that all those things in a lot of ways are the same thing, and we just give it different names. So whatever name works for you, be okay with that. So for me, that's where I currently sit. And I'm open to all sorts of point of views, but not points of views that says mine is the way and the only way. That I'm very closed off to. But I'm open to all sorts of different things. And that's where I don't care until someone says that I'm wrong for that. That just doesn't sit well with me. And I think it's the problem with our world, is that somebody's right and somebody's wrong rather than getting along. So anywho, much love to you. Appreciate your ears, your eyes, and your attention. I hope you find these helpful. Your Daily Jumpstart, Michael Gebben, tuning up hearts and minds one at a time, so your ideas don't die in your hearts, your heads, or your hard drives. Keep rocking, keep rolling. Talk soon.